欢迎大家到破解中文，我是宇鹏。今天我们要学习一些中文语法，我们想知道怎么说 when. Hey everybody, I'm Carl from Cracking Chinese, and today we want to learn a little bit of Chinese grammar. We want to learn how to say when in Chinese. So, let's get cracking. 咱们开始吧。So the good news is it's fairly easy to say when in Chinese. We've got to learn two ways. We've got to learn how to say when in a question and when in a sentence. So let's start with the easy one first and learn how to say when in a question. So to say when as a question is pretty easy in Chinese. We're going to take a word that I think you already know, 什么, what, and then add the word for time on the end, which is 时候. So the word for when is at what time, which is 什么时候, 什么时候. So that's pretty easy. So a few example sentences might be 我们什么时候去吃饭? When are we going to eat? Or 他们什么时候去过中国呢? When did they go to China? Or 那个是什么时候发生的呢? When did that happen? So that's how to say when as a question in Chinese. 什么时候? So to say when in a sentence in Chinese is a little bit different. To do this, we want to learn a grammar structure. This structure will help us formulate the sentences much more easily. So we have 当, which you can think of as when, ... the first part of the sentence, and then you have to insert the 时候. The is the possessive in Chinese, and 时候, we've learned, it means time from 什么时候. And then you have the second part of the sentence, ... So you have 当, ... the 时候, ... So this structure will really help us to build some sentences. Let's go through a few examples. So the first example, 当我小的时候，我们住在英国。当我小的时候，我们住在英国。So when I was little or when I was young, we lived in England. 当 when 我小的时候 I was little at that time, 我们住在英国。当我小的时候，我们住在英国。When I was little at that time, we lived in England. Okay, so example number 2. 当我们在中国的时候，我们看到了老朋友。So 当 when 我们在中国的时候 we were in China at that time, we saw old friends. 我们看到了老朋友。当我们在中国的时候，我们看到了老朋友。So hopefully you're starting to get the idea of that sentence structure. 当 ... 的时候 ... Now what's important to remember is that the 时候 part is much more important than the 当. So as you get more advanced, in fact, in general speech, you won't hear the 当. You will just say 我们在中国的时候 or 我小的时候 etc. etc. So start to drop the 当 as soon as you feel comfortable. But what's helpful about the 当 when you're learning is it comes in the place in the sentence where when normally would in the English sentence. So it can really help you to get started. Now the Chinese language, being a master of efficiency, you will start to see that sometimes the 的 is dropped. So instead of 我小的时候, it might just be 我小时候. Or you might even start to see the 后 being dropped as well. So instead of 我们在中国的时候, it turns into 我们在中国时. Now, of course, if it's written, it's easy to spot because you'll see that it's 时 from 时候. However, if you start with the 当 ... the 时候 structure at the beginning, you can't go wrong. There you have it, the two ways to say when in Chinese. 什么时候 if it's a question, and 当 ... the 时候 if it's when in a sentence. So what did you think of today's video? Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and consider subscribing to the channel and watching some of our other videos. Thanks very much, and see you next time. 加油!